Welcome back to my channel. So in this video I'm going to show you guys this very simple dress that I'm making. Guys, you can even make this with, let's say, 1.5 yards of fabric. So what I'm going to do is just to cut the bottom part, which is a skirt. So basically I'm going to be cutting a pencil skirt here. So I've already folded it. The width here is just my hip divided by 4 plus 1, and then extra 1.5 for the zipper at the back. So now the next thing we are going to do is to, up here I'm going to insert my waist divided by 4. So I'm going to go ahead and mark that here at 8.5 here, and then I'm going to add 2 inches to it. That's for the darting and the darting and the side seam. And then you're going to mark your waist to your hip. For me, that's going to be 10 inches down here, right, somewhere here. And then you're going to go ahead and insert your hip measurement divided by 4 plus 1 here. And then down here, you're going to take away 1 inch from that. So I have 13 here. I'm going to take away 1 inch here. So that's 12. So now I'm going to just connect it from here to this part, and then from here to this part. So this basically just your pencil skirt pattern is what we are drafting here. This is not where the whole explanation is. Just draft a basic pencil skirt pattern. So guys, once you've cut out this side, now you see I've also split the back panel because there's going to be a zip there. The next thing is to put in where my dart is going to be. So to put in the dart is going to be my nipple to nipple divided by 2, which is going to give me 4. Mark that, and then I'm going to mark my dart is going to stop 2 inches before my hip line. My hip is at 10. 2 inches before that is going to be at 9. So I'm going to go 8. I'm going to go ahead and mark it. So this dart is going to be transferred to both make sure your line is straight, guys. So my dart is going to be transferred on the 4 sides. That's the 2 sides of the front and the 2 sides of the back. I'm going to go ahead and notch it. So basically I finished drafting this. I'm going to set it aside. So now we are going to move over to the main part, which is the top, guys. So what I'm going to do here is just I'm still going to make this in a different style, but this particular one here is just to explain the basics of this here. The one the person sent to me, it has like a ruffle at the end. It's almost like a long skirt. It has a ruffle, asymmetric ruffle going all the way to the side, and then the top part has a drapey neckline. So but here I'm going to be using a basic bodice to do this. So guys, the first thing you're going to do is, all I have here is just my basic bodice, right? Shoulder divided by 2, slope, and then my bust measurement divided by 4 plus seam allowance, everything. That's what I have here. So now what I'm going to do, the next one I'm going to do, I'm going to make it with a bust here, but this here I'm just going to do it with a basic bodice, right? I'm going to come down here 5 inches or 4.5, or let's say 5 inches, right? And then I'm going to rule a straight line across, right? This here is just going to be where the top is going to start. This is where my top for the front is going to start. Now you're going to measure one side of your armpit to the other. So measure from here, measure one side of the armpit to the other, or basically I'm going to take away 1 inch from here. It's normally like 1 inch short from what your shoulder measurement is, right? And then I'm going to blend it into this line. I'm going to blend it into this line like this. Connect it here, and then rule a new armhole. So this is now my new armhole here, right? But because I want the sleeve, so you're going to give it a new curve. This is the curve that I gave it. So this is now my new armhole. This one now doesn't work anymore. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm also going to still take it in by ½ an inch, but just at the top. Remember, we came in 1 inch after what our basic bodice was supposed to be. And then now we came in ½ an inch again. This ½ an inch now, instead of drawing it again as a straight line, I'm just going to blend it almost like I'm making a halter neck, right? I'm just going to blend it into this armhole part. This will help my strap to lay inside of my shoulder. I'm just bringing it further in so that my strap will be inside of my shoulder, since it's going to be at the edge, right? If I put it here, this strap is going to be outside of it's going to still be on my shoulder, but it's going to be at the very edge. So that's why I brought it in 1/2 inch again and then connected it into this armhole. So now it's almost like I'm making a halter neck, and then I'm going to blend it in. So all I have to do now is just to go ahead and cut this. Cut from here, cut from this side. Now this is the bodice I'm going to be tracing, and then now these bodies here, I'm also going to use it for both the back and the front. So with this now, I'm going to trace out what I'm working with. This is going to be on a fold. This part here is going to be on a fold. This is our center front. So I'm going to trace out exactly what I have on this paper. Remember, I have my seam allowance and everything already. I have my dart, which is here. So all I have to do now is just to trace this exactly. So guys, you see what I've done here? So I went ahead and cut this on a fabric to cut out the lining to trace it on. So guys, now what we're going to do is these basic bodies. Now we're going to take we're going to cut out to mark the back. First things first is that our dart for the back is going to go up to this line, up to the armhole line, this particular line here. Our dart is going to go up there. So this dart now, we're going to take it all this way. And then the next thing we are going to, the next change that we're going to make here is that we're going to remove some of it here. Remember, there's no zipper allowance, right? So that one is already gone. So now to make room, more room for the opening for this strap to pass through, it depends on you how wide you want the back to be, right? But I don't want it to open, so that like the space for the loop, I don't want it to open. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here by 2 inches, right? So I'm going to take my tape and then I'm going to measure 2 inches away from this end here, and then I'm going to mark it. So guys, now that I've marked this, now I'm going to cut it off. You see, I came in here by 2 inches. I'm going to cut this off, right? So this is out now. Then the next thing that we're going to cut is this line where we're going to remove the top part, because this is not going to, our top is not getting up to this point, right? So this is still our back panel that we're tracing. Now the next thing you're going to do is this part here, you're just going to fold it away, right? So you can get that out this way, or you can just go ahead and trace this out. It doesn't matter. If you want, you can trace this out and then pick your dart, or if you want, you can fold the dart away, like fold it away this way, and then just trace it out this way, and you don't have to trace the dart. You understand? You can trace this paper this way it is now, and then go ahead and pick your dart on your fabric. Or you can go ahead and fold this dart away and then just trace the shape you have at this point where you've already traced, folded this away. And then another thing that I like to do is that for the back, you have to go up at least 1 inch here. So come up here from the end here, 1 inch, or just do 0.75 instead of 1 inch, right? 0.75 up here. And then you're going to blend it into the side. So you're going to blend it into the side seam this way. This will help the back to relax better. So I'm going to cut this off, and then this is what I'm going to trace. What is left is now what I'll trace on my fabric. So I'm going to go ahead now and trace this exactly the way it is on my fabric and also on a lining. Guys, the next thing you're going to do is once you have this done, you're going to open it up this way, and then you're going to take your top, place it on this here, and then take your strap, put it like you're going to make 2 of these as long as possible. Maybe let's say 50 inches of length. It depends on you. Because people always ask me what is the length of my strap. Guys, I just cut enough strap to go. If I find that it's too long, I cut it short, but just make the one that is long enough. And then you're going to take it in between. You see the right side is facing this lining. I'm going to place it here, but 1/2 inch before the end. You understand? So I'm going to skip 1/2 inch before the end of the lining and put it there, because when I place this here, I'm going to still use the 1/2 inch to join the armhole, and then I'm going to sew it all the way to this top here. Put the second strap here, but 1/2 inch before I get to this end, and then also close up this part and then flip it over. So I'm going to do that and do the same thing on my lining. I'm going to cut it, so close the top part, right? And then I'm going to bring it back so you guys will see. So guys, as you can see, I've gone ahead. You see what I was saying before. So you're going to make, this is what it looked like before here, just like this, right? when we cut it. So on this side you're going to insert these straps in between. I used 4 on this side. So once you do that, you go ahead and flip it out, you see. So now all I have to do is to join the side to the side and join this side to this side, and then my strap from the top is going to lace up in between them, right? But before that, if you want, you can join it and then join it to the skirt, right? You understand? Like close up the side, close up to the side, close up the sides of your skirt and join it together. But one thing I like to do is to have my side seam from the top to the bottom as one seam, right? So that in that case, what I'm going to do is just take this front panel, join it, the dart to the dart, and then join the front panel together, right? And then for the back side, what I'm going to do is just to take it starting from the edge here, not from the center where the zip is going to be. I'm going to start from the edge and place it, because if I start from the center, this is not supposed to be at the center. This is supposed to be somewhere here before the dart, right? If you remember, because we still need room for this lacing up, right? So I'm going to start from this side here, from the edge of this cloth, and then sew it down. Just use 1/2 inch to join it. The same thing goes for this other side. Take it this way, starting from this edge, and then I'm going to sew it close, right? Once you join the bottom and the top together, you close up your side seam, close up the side seam. So guys, this is what it looks like. You see, I've finished up. I joined this side and then I use bias to complete it. Just basically take a piece of fabric this way and then join it. You see, just immediately after this part of the clothes ended, I just took my bias, joined it to this part, the remaining part. So now all I have to do is just to take this now and fold it in. This is just to help me turn over the rest of the fabric, because if I don't do that, then the remaining part of it will just have like this rough end and it will not have any clean finish. So I just use my bias, which is this here, my bias tape, or you can just use your piece of fabric. If you want self, you can fold in like a band if you want the back a little bit higher, because remember what we're working with here is just our waist to knee, right? From your, this part here is your shoulder to your waist, here's your waist to your knee. That's how you got the complete length of the dress. So even if you want here, at this point you can even add like a band. You know how the skirt band is, you can just attach the band to this part of the clothes, and then that will be like, it will increase the waist length here. The only thing is that you just have to stitch it close. Like let's say the band, this is the band and it's like 2 inches high or 1.5 inches high. You just have to stitch it to the body of this part here, right? And then insert the rest of it into your zipper, right? But for this one here, I just have to tuck this in here and top stitch it, just like how I did on this side. And all I have to do now is to put in my zip, and then I'll lace up the dress, and it's basically done. So this is what it looks like at this point. So let me go back in now and put in my zipper. I'll bring it back. So guys, this is it here. I also went ahead and so you see I've added my zip. This is the back, so all I have to do is just to tie it here, and then this is the front. I also went ahead and added a dart by the armhole. So just, it's very small dart, so I just picked a very small dart by the armhole so it doesn't gape. Like I said guys, I'm going to make a better another tutorial with almost the same style, but it's going to be a bustier, and it's going to have like a ruffle one side, and it's almost like a long skirt. So that's the main tutorial I wanted to make, but this one here is just basically to explain the whole concept of this in the simplest way before we go to making it with a bustier, which might be a little bit confusing. So this is the simplest form of it here. So thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.